Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are talking about something that touches almost every single person in the whole world, even you. It is about focus. Have you ever tried to do your homework but your phone kept buzzing? Or tried to read a book but your brain kept jumping to other thoughts? If yes, don't worry, you are not alone. Almost everyone struggles with this today. A smart professor named Cal Newport studied this problem very closely. He wrote a famous book called Deep Work. In this book, he explains why focus has become so hard in our modern world, and he gives us clear steps to get it back. Today, we are going to learn his biggest ideas together step by step. Grab a comfy seat, put your phone far away for the next few minutes. That's a fun little joke, but also good practice. And let's dive in. Cal Newport says there are two very different types of work. The first type is called deep work. This means focusing on one hard task with zero distractions for a long stretch of time. Your brain is fully locked in, like a laser beam pointed at one single spot. Deep work is how great books get written, difficult problems get solved, and new inventions get created. The second type is called shallow work. This means small, easy tasks, answering emails, replying to messages, checking notifications. These tasks don't need much brain power, and you can do them even while half distracted. Here's the big problem Newport points out. In today's world, filled with phones, apps, and constant notifications, most people spend almost their entire day doing shallow work, jumping from one small distraction to another. Deep work, the kind of focus that creates truly great, valuable results, is becoming rare. And here is the exciting part. Because deep work is becoming so rare, the people who can still do it become incredibly valuable and successful. Newport calls this the deep work hypothesis, the idea that the ability to focus deeply without distraction is quickly becoming one of the most valuable skills in our entire world. So think of deep work like a superpower. Not everyone has it anymore, but you can build it with practice. Before we get to the solutions, let's understand one more big idea: attention residue. Imagine you are doing your math homework and suddenly you check a text message. Even after you put the phone down and go back to your math, a little piece of your brain is still stuck thinking about that text message. This leftover, sticky piece of attention is called residue, just like sticky glue left behind on your fingers. The more you switch back and forth between tasks, the more residue builds up, and the harder it becomes to think clearly on anything. This is why doing many small things at once, often called multitasking, actually makes you slower and less clear thinking, not faster. This is exactly why deep work needs long, uninterrupted stretches of time. Every time you get interrupted, some sticky residue gets left behind, and it takes real time and effort to fully wipe it away and focus again. Rule 1. Work deeply. Newport's first big rule is work deeply. This means you cannot just hope that deep focus will happen randomly during a busy day. You have to plan for it on purpose, like scheduling an important meeting with yourself. Newport suggests picking specific blocks of time, maybe 1 hour, maybe 3 hours, and protecting that time fiercely. During that block, no phone, no email, no chatting, just you and the one hard task in front of you. He shares stories of very successful people who protect their deep work time like treasure. Some famous writers lock themselves in a quiet room with no internet at all. Some scientists build entire daily schedules around a few hours of pure, uninterrupted thinking. Newport also shares different ways people can structure their deep work. Some people do it every single day at the exact same time, like brushing their teeth. Some people take an entire day, or even a few days, completely away from distractions to think deeply on one big project. Some people fit deep work in wherever they can find small gaps, though this is usually the hardest method to stick with. The key lesson here is simple. Deep work does not happen by accident. It happens because you protect time for it, on purpose, again and again. Rule 2. Embrace boredom. Newport's second big rule is Embrace boredom. This one might sound strange at first. Why would anyone want to feel bored on purpose? Here's why. Many of us have trained our brains to expect constant entertainment. The moment we feel even a little bit bored, waiting in line, waiting for the bus, we instantly grab our phones for a quick distraction. But every time we do this, we are training our brain to be unable to sit still with a single thought. Our focus muscle gets weaker and weaker, just like an arm muscle that never gets exercised. Newport suggests something surprising. On purpose, let yourself feel bored sometimes. Stand in that line without your phone. Let your mind wander on its own without instantly reaching for a screen. This actually trains your brain's focus muscle to get stronger over time. Just like lifting weights trains your body. He compares it to athletes who train their bodies even when they're not in a real competition. In the same way, you must train your focus even in small, everyday, boring moments, so that when it's time for real deep work, your focus muscle is strong and ready. Rule 3. Quit social media. Newport's third big rule is quit social media, or at least use it much more carefully. This does not mean you must delete every single app forever. Instead, Newport suggests something called the craftsman approach to picking your tools. A craftsman, like a carpenter or an artist, only picks tools that clearly help them build something valuable. They don't grab every shiny new tool just because it exists. Here's a simple test Newport suggests. For any app or habit, ask yourself, does this tool bring me more real benefit than harm? If an app helps you very little but steals huge chunks of your time and attention, it fails the test, and it's probably worth quitting or cutting way back. Newport points out that many apps are specifically designed by very smart engineers to be as addictive as possible, grabbing your attention again and again through notifications, likes, and endless scrolling. It's not that you have weak willpower. It's that these apps are built like traps on purpose. So instead of mindlessly using every app just because everyone else does, Newport encourages picking your tools carefully, like a craftsman choosing only the best, most useful instruments for the job. Rule 4. Drain the shallows. Newport's fourth and final big rule is drain the shallows. Remember shallow work? Those small, easy, low-value tasks, like replying to every message instantly or attending unnecessary meetings. Newport says shallow work is like water slowly filling up a bathtub. If you don't drain it regularly, it keeps rising and rising until it completely fills your entire day, leaving no room left for deep work at all. He suggests a fun exercise. Imagine planning out every single hour of your day on paper in advance. When you actually see your day written out block by block, you quickly notice just how much time gets eaten up by shallow tasks that don't truly matter. Newport encourages people to set firm limits on shallow work. For example, deciding in advance, I will only check email twice a day at set times, instead of checking it every few minutes all day long. Or deciding, I will leave work at a certain time every evening, which forces you to work more efficiently during the day, cutting out wasted, shallow moments. By actively draining the shallow tasks out of your schedule, you create more empty space. And that empty space becomes the room where real, valuable, deep work can finally happen. So why does all of this really matter? Newport explains that in today's world, almost anyone can do shallow, easy work. It doesn't require much skill, and it doesn't create much extra value. Because so many people can do it, shallow work isn't very rewarded. But deep work, the kind that requires intense focus, deep thinking, and real skill, is rare because so few people can actually sustain it in our distracted world. And because it's rare, it becomes extremely valuable. Newport believes that the people who master deep focus in the coming years will be able to learn hard things quickly, produce excellent work, and stand out clearly from everyone else who is stuck jumping between distractions. Meanwhile, those who never build this skill may struggle to keep up in a world that increasingly rewards focus over busyness. In simple words, learning to focus deeply isn't just a nice bonus skill anymore. It might be one of the most important skills for your entire future. Let's walk through everything we learned together one more time. Deep work versus shallow work. Deep, focused work creates real, rare value. Shallow work is easy, but low value. Attention residue. Switching tasks constantly leaves sticky mental leftovers that slow your brain down. Rule 1. Work deeply. Protect blocks of time for deep focus on purpose, like an important appointment. Rule 2. Embrace boredom. Let yourself feel bored sometimes, to train your focus muscle to grow stronger. Rule 3. Quit social media. Pick your tools carefully, like a craftsman, keeping only what truly helps you. Rule 4. Drain the shallows. Actively limit small, low-value tasks to make room for deep, meaningful work. Cal Newport's message is clear. In a world that is constantly buzzing, beeping, and pulling our attention in 100 directions, the ability to sit down and focus deeply on one thing is becoming a true superpower. The best part? This is a skill anyone can build, with practice, patience, and a little bit of discipline, no matter your age, your job, or where you're starting from. So the next time you sit down to do something important, try it. Put the phone away, close the extra tabs, and give your full, deep attention to just one thing. That is deep work, and it might just change your whole life.